Ah, well, it's another day. Time for another episode. Oh, man. Oh, all right. Let's get this coffee thing going. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Wednesday, March 18th, 2020. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Just ground. I just ground that like 3 minutes ago, tops. There's something nice about very freshly ground coffee. It always tastes better. Well, this whole thing is getting great, right? Oh, so much fun. Um, the only thing I will say is that I am impressed with people's resourcefulness. I am proud of the martial arts community for doing so much, for stepping up in so many ways. So, if any of you out there are part of that group doing stuff, keep going. Proud of you, and thank you. Now me, oh, I, oh. I'm struggling to get stuff done. I'm not gonna lie, and it's not just because of what's happening. It's the combination of all the things I'm normally supposed to do, plus what's happening. Because my consulting clients want my time, and I want to give them my time, and so there's a lot of messaging going on, and I'm doing my best to help, and that's a priority. But that means other things are falling by the wayside. So, for example, as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to go to my desk and do email. I'm not going to do any of my morning routine stuff. I have to go put in like 45 to 60 minutes on email because I have email from a week and a half ago I haven't gotten to, and that's just not acceptable to me. So any of you out there who might be waiting on emails back, sorry, you'll probably get one this morning. It's not that bad, but it's bad enough that I don't like it. And I'm also without the diversity of working at different places, which is something that keeps my mind going. I have to do all my work from home, which other people I mean, everyone's working from home right now, pretty much. I'm not. Ooh. I'm not used to doing it all from one spot. My mind gets bored. I'm used to, let's do a few hours here, and then I've got to go out to this appointment, so let's go to the coffee shop, and then, like I have an acupuncture appointment today. I would normally have my laptop, and when I'm done there, go do a couple hours at the Panera down the street. Because it's like starting over. It's like hitting the reset button. And it's really helped my productivity in the past. This place isn't big enough to have multiple spots. I mean, I got the couch that I'm sitting on now. I've got my office. That's about it. I'm not bringing a laptop into the bedroom. I don't know. Maybe I could set up a desk somewhere. If it was nicer, I'd sit outside, but it's not. So, I'm whining. I recognize that. I'll stop whining now. What else happened yesterday? My car has a nice new windshield. Yay! It's exactly what I wanted to spend $500 on. Wow, I'm being very negative this morning. That's not like me. Let's get rid of that. Stay positive. Went to the gym last night. There was no one there. It was phenomenal. Not, the reason that no one was there, obviously not a good one. But it's nice being able to work out and not have to wait for equipment or anything. I coach a reduced schedule at the CrossFit gym tonight. I only have 2 classes instead of 4. Hopefully people show up because coaching's not fun when they don't. When I last checked, people that had signed up, there were definitely people. What else? What else did I do yesterday? Nothing. Nothing. I worked. Oh, you know what I did? I got a little bit further on the strength and conditioning program, which I'll confess, I wanted to have that out last night. I wanted to do one of those late nights and stay up and get the videos done. And I just didn't have the steam. I wanted to. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And then of course I kicked myself for it. But that should be out this week. I'm hopeful. It's almost ready. I wish I could hand that off to somebody and just say, hey, take care of this. But we don't have somebody else. We have lots of somebodies, but they're all doing something. I'm rambling. What else is happening today? That's it. I have a phone meeting, I have acupuncture, I coach CrossFit, and I do as much stuff as I can from home. Oh, I put up a Patreon video and audio yesterday. And I'll do a blog post maybe next week on upcoming guests, because that's the only place we talk about that is on Patreon. If you want to support us, patreon.com/whistlekick. That's a game. It's a silly game. That's not where we get questions from. There we go. If you want to ask me a question or a comment or something, leave it below. I'll respond tomorrow. That's what makes this show fun. And we got a couple questions here. All right. Let's start with this one. There is more done with pens than with swords. Harriet Beecher Stowe. I think sometimes we're under the illusion as martial artists that violence is all that matters and that we need to train for all these horrendously violent scenarios. When in reality, violence comprises such a small portion of our lives, if at any. Why would we not use martial arts to prepare and improve the rest? Because it can be used for that. The ability to remain confident and alert and become a leader. And all of these things that martial arts teaches us, they're so valuable beyond fighting. I don't understand why so many people insist that it's only violence. It's only self-defense. It's only for what works in the street. It's strange to me. And if we take Harriet Beecher Stowe's quote a little more literally, far more damage has been done with words than with war when we consider history. I've brought up the example before of those involved in sugar production back in the 60s and 70s falsifying research to show that fat was the culprit for all of these diseases. How many people died as a result? Lots. Far more people have died from that than have died from violence in this country. Far more people die from that in a year than have probably died from violence in this country in, what, 10, 20? I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it's pretty overwhelming. There's more done with pens than with swords. One more from her. No ornament of a house can compare with books. They are constant company in a room, even when you are not reading them. As a kid, I loved old books. I'd go to library book sales and buy the oldest books I could find. Didn't matter what they were. If I could find something from pre-Civil War, I mean that was a treasure. I liked the smell. I liked the way they wrote. I liked being able to say I had a collection of old books. And those are still around. Those are at my mother's house somewhere, I expect. And somehow they always ended up being stories of being on ships. Andrew says he loves old book smell. Yeah, it's a great smell. Somehow a lot of those books ended up being about pirates and sailing, even though that I wasn't looking to see what they were about before I bought them. They just inevitably became books on that, which I liked. Not the violent aspect of being a pirate, but there's a freedom there of being, an outlaw and rejecting what society wants you to do and the standards to live up to, and you go off and you do your own thing and carve your own way. There's some appeal there. I don't have a lot of books. I don't read often. I listen to podcasts. I listen to audiobooks. That's my reading right now. I go through phases. If there's a book I'm really interested in, I will read it. I've been working on Michael Crichton's memoirs for months. Because I'll put it down for 2 months and not pick it up again for a while. But books are great. I have this dream of having this very simple cabin in the woods, and the walls are just lined with shelves full of old books. I think that'd be cool. And one more for the day, and I saved this one for last because it's a little big. What would you say to those who are confused or upset about the current situation, especially those who have lost confidence or are depressed because they can't train with others? This is tough. This is a tough situation, and we're not out of it yet. And we don't know when we'll be done. And I think for a lot of us, that's the hardest part. To not know. How long is this going to happen? How long are we going to be stuck inside? How long are we going to not train with others? Well, here's the thing. This too shall pass. And if you're... I see two aspects to this question. There's the emotional piece, the being depressed, the feeling lost. You're not the only one. Most of us are feeling this way. This is a time to try to focus on positive things. If you are used to being around other people who lift you up and keep you engaged and positive, do not fill that time with television and radio and podcasts that are telling you how horrible things are. You've got to fill it with stuff that's positive. Hopefully you consider this show part of that. We are what we expose ourselves to. So if you're exposing yourself to negative things, you're going to remain negative. If you're exposing yourself to positive things, it'll combat some of those feelings. Now, the other piece of the question, the training piece, the feeling alone piece. Most of us have ways to video conference. This is a great opportunity to challenge people, maybe from your own school. Hey, I did 15 forms today. I did 10 rounds of shadowboxing. I made up a new form. Can I teach it to you? I, whatever, worked on this, that, the other thing. This is a great opportunity to adjust the way you train. If you're simply trying to train the way that you do, you're ignoring the fact that there are benefits here. Most of us have more time given what is happening. I don't know if I want to call it free time, but we have time at home. We're not driving around as much. There are fewer activities. There is time. What do you do with that time? If you're someone who does really well with structured training, there's a lot of video going out there. Maybe your school isn't doing it, but plenty of others are. Find those videos. Watch those videos. Train. There's opportunity to, I don't know, you can do more with martial arts radio. You can go deeper into some of the guests. You can follow them on social media. You can find their websites. You can see what they're doing right now. Many of them have schools. But I think the key is finding, how do you want to spend this time? And making that work. Yeah. For me, this is training as usual, because most of my training is spread out through the day in very small bits as I do other things. And I've talked about this. It's hitting this bag. It's, it's practicing distance on various points, various walls, various door frames. But I went to work out last night knowing that it was probably the last time I was going to, because I've got a good feeling that things are going to get shut down completely. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If you haven't spoken with your instructor, maybe you reach out to your instructor and say, hey, if there was one thing you wanted me to be better at when I came back, what would that be? I bet they have ideas. Instructors usually know what you need to work on. Andrew wrote in that his concern is not that this won't end, but that too many small dojos will fold from the lack of income. Yeah. I expect that will likely happen. But right now there seems to be this climate of people willing to help and just delay everything in terms of expenses. So if the building owner allows that school owner to delay their rent payment, they should be okay. We'll see what happens. Am I worried about that? Yes. But I'm not going to invest any energy in worrying about it because I can't change that. Because my worry, we don't know what's happening. There's all this talk about economic stimulus and forgiveness and interest-only payments and all this, and it's far too complex to know. We haven't even landed on a full package yet. And even once we do, I'm not an economist. I don't know how all that's going to flow through and the effect that that's going to have. So what do? I'm doing my best to support myself and my friends and other businesses. I'm conserving cash by paying the minimums on everything right now. I am trying to, we've got a ton of restaurants in the area who are asking for people to buy gift cards. I'm going to be spending, the money that I would typically spend when I go out. I'm going to buy gift cards. I'll probably buy, a couple $20 gift cards a week as we go through here and spread it out. And not everywhere at the places that I normally go. Because if we do that, if we try to keep it business as usual as much as possible, it'll work. It's going to be painful. So what do you do to prepare, right? You recognize it's going to be painful, and you do everything you can to shore up your mind, your body, your finances, your family. You do what you can with what you have, where you're at. Don't invest energy in worry. It's wasteful. It does nothing. Obviously easier said than done. So. All right. I think that's a good place to end it. I'm going to go do email. I don't really have any final words for you. Just keep your chin up. Smile. Punch stuff, not people. You're welcome, Andrew. Thank you. We're going to get through this together. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care. Peace.